when I got exposed to this business, I started part-time. I did not want to jeopardize my thriving career as a GNC salesperson, bartender, and personal trainer. Those very, very lucrative positions that I had. So I started here part-time, and I was helping one family a month, part-time, helping them with insurance solutions. And that quickly grew to one a week. And then 13 months after starting, Angelina, I was able to basically make more money here part-time than I was at all three of my jobs.
Welcome to another episode of Becoming with Angelina Watkins, and I'm your host, Angelina Watkins, your queen of becoming, here to help you become who you need to be so that you can do what you're supposed to do, so you can live the abundant life that you want to live. And you guys, I am so excited. I'm so excited because I've been for a whole year now talking to you all about how to get in a position to win at love, life, and money. And we've been talking about how to build wealth for the last few weeks. And I have my friend here, Guillermo. You guys, I'm so excited to have Guillermo on my anniversary episode because let me tell you, my journey to wealth, my journey to being a business owner, my journey to a lot of stuff, Guillermo, started with you. I don't even know if you realize that. Listen, he's a modest guy. I love you for that. He's so modest. But he's played a big part in me becoming who I am today, right? And so in kicking off my 1 year, I decided that I wanted to start bringing on people who have made a difference in my life, who have helped me become who I'm supposed to be, who has helped me mature into a businesswoman, mature into a mother and a wife, and all the things that I am today. Yeah. And I couldn't ask for a better person to help me kick this off than you.
Thank you. It's an honor. I know you just said something extremely important there, in the fact that we are who our associations are, you know. And
absolutely.
That's super, super important. And I got to tell you, congratulations on your 1 year anniversary.
Thank you.
That is awesome.
It is big. I'm not one for celebrating me. I don't know why I don't celebrate me, but I had to celebrate this because when I started this journey, and I joined this mentorship to launch my podcast, the thing was most people don't get past 6 episodes. Here I am at episode 52.
That's awesome.
Right? And it's not been an easy journey. It's been a very difficult, challenging journey, but I was determined not to give up. And so I'm so glad I didn't.
Yeah.
And this is
well, you know the old saying, I mean, if it's worthwhile, it's not going to be easy, you know, and it's just like raising kids, just like anything, you know. It's so congratulations to you, and keep pushing forward. That's fantastic. I'm very proud of you.
So do you remember how we met?
It was over a decade ago, if I recall, right?
Gosh, when did we meet? I think it was more than a decade ago. I met you back in like 2007.
Yeah, I was going to say 2007, 2008. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah.
And you blew me away. That's why I had to bring him to you all, because he changed my money mindset. And I know we hear a lot of people talk about money mindset and changing your money mindset and building wealth. But when I met Guillermo, I came because I thought I was coming to some networking. Some networking session. I was a real estate agent at the time. And I come in and I see this presentation that blew my mind. So you all, if you ever get a chance, I'm gonna put a link down in the description where you all can go see this presentation. But it changed my life. It changed my life about money. It changed my life about how I see money, how I work with money, and being able to build the wealth. Like, I actually got the vision that it could happen for me. And so that's how I met you. I came to that meeting, you did this presentation, and you talked, and the biggest thing that you taught me about was, we're not gonna get into today, but I had to say, tax now, tax later, was it?
Or tax never.
Free, or tax never.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? Tax never? What is tax never?
Right.
And that started my journey of learning financial literacy, and I've been passionate for it ever since. So you struck a chord in me. You built some passion in me, and it's just been my goal since 2007 to bring financial literacy to the middle class.
Yeah. Because
I couldn't believe the stuff that I was learning. They didn't teach us that in school.
Then they will not. Yeah.
And they didn't teach you that in college.
Correct.
And I'm like, where are we supposed to ever learn this?
Right.
And I'm like, I've been on a crusade ever since of wanting people to learn about just the basics of financial literacy. We don't have to even get into the difficult stuff, but just understanding the basics of money and how money works and everything like that. So,
well, we're taught how to work hard for it. We're taught since we're kids. If you went to school similar to me, School of Hard Knocks, they taught us go get great grades, go make the honor roll, go make the dean's list, go out. My mom and dad told me to be a doctor, lawyer, or engineer, or go work for Procter and Gamble or GE or a big corporation, retire with a gold watch and a pension plan. I was never taught how to make money and time work hard for me, and that's something. 22 years now,
right?
Unbelievably, more than half of my life, we've been teaching families that exact concept, empowering people about how to better understand their money, because it's proven if people know more about their money and how to make it work for them, they live more happy life. There's so many things. I mean, people say money's not everything. Well, it causes 50% of the divorces, which are half of marriages in this country. They end because of financial issues. So it's so important, and that's why we take our crusade so seriously. Much different than a traditional, per se, financial advisory type of thing. Most people out there, Angelina, are financial product salespeople versus coaches and trainers, and like you were talking about mindset. You change your mindset, it changes your life.
Well, I have to say that's one of the reasons why I wanted to work with you. Like, this is my first financial coach, y'all. But when I say education, when I say making sure that you choose the right product for you, not just trying to get you to buy whatever that you need to buy so they can make a commission. That's why I have always loved to work with your team. Is just your true heart for the people, your honesty, your determination to make sure that they do the right thing and not just line your pockets. And when you do the right thing, your pockets will be lined. You don't have to chase the money, right? If you do the right thing, the money will come. But that's why I've always loved to work with you. And I've always loved to work with you and your team because of just that alone, the education piece of it. You know me, I've always been big on the education and the fact that you educate people. It's not about selling a product.
Right.
It's about an education and letting them choose what's right for them. But listen, I know that's not where they're tuning in.
Yeah, okay, so let's get to it. Go ahead. Let's get to it.
Because we can talk all day.
Yeah.
But I wanted to bring Guillermo because I wanted to bring him in because I've been doing a series on passive income. And in that series, I did mention how you can make passive income through insurance. And so because I've been tied to, financial literacy and education and in the financial world for, it's been since 2007. I wanted to bring my financial business coach in here because I wouldn't be where I am with money if it wasn't him. So why not go to the source of who helped me get there, right? So I wanted you to come in, Guillermo, and talk about how a person can create passive income in insurance, because I believe this is a secret. Like, this is like a hidden treasure that a lot of people don't know and understand how they can make money in insurance. I mean, we know we can make money in insurance products, but being able to make money as an insurance agent and maybe a future broker. I wanted you to come in and talk about that a little bit.
Well, I think if it's okay, Angelina, I mean, I'd probably be best off by just telling you how I got started. In my journey in. So when I was finishing up college, I had no idea what I wanted to do with myself. I just knew that I didn't want to be locked into a job. It's just, I started studying a lot of my friends, and they took the first job they could get right out of college. And now out of 15, 20 of them, none of them are with those companies anymore. And obviously just with the economy and how it's changed, the companies that were excellent are now great companies. And it's interesting because I saw a lot of my parents' friends who were, at the top tier executive positions, and they were getting let go because companies were saying, wait a minute, we're paying them too much money and they're aging. So when I got exposed to this business, I started part-time. I did not want to jeopardize my thriving career as a GNC salesperson, bartender, and personal trainer. Those very, very lucrative positions that I had. So I started here part-time, and I was helping one family a month, part-time, helping them with insurance solutions. And that quickly grew to one a week. And then 13 months after starting Angelina, I was able to basically make more money here part-time than I was at all three of my jobs. And then what I noticed was after the first year with a life and health license, we would get compensated a small percentage for something we did the year before. Mm-hmm. And then I started thinking of a book that I read, which is extremely important. It's called the Cash Flow Quadrant, because you talked about mindset. Well, in that book, there's talks about 4 quadrants of life. On the left side is employee and self-employed. Well, let's think of all the people that we know that we admire financially and ask ourselves, are they employees and self-employed, or are they on the right side, which is a business owner and an investor? Excellent read, but I quickly learned that you can do something now and receive compensation for it ongoing, which is obviously we know it as residual income. So to answer your question, it's a very lucrative industry. In stats, it's pretty mind-blowing. 6 out of 10 people that we know have 0 life insurance. 6 out of 10. However, do we know what the number one do you know what your number one financial asset is? For everybody tuning in, it's your income. It's your ability to make money. So if you're 45 years old and you plan on working the next 20 years, and let's say you make $100,000 a year, you're bringing $2 million to your family in income. Yet most of the people we talk to, Angelina, that do have coverage, they have $250,000 or $300,000, or and how long will that provide income for the family? So I guess, and you mentioned this already, you help people get what they want, you'll inevitably get what you want. I heard Lou Holtz, a famous coach, football coach, say at a convention once that if you focus on being successful, you may struggle. But if you focus on being significant, you will become ultra successful. And what that reminded me of is the fact, life insurance, sure, it's a great industry, it's a large industry, but I don't offer life insurance. I help people protect their economic value. So for everybody tuning in, I would quickly find out what is your economic value. And we have a formula and a method that we coach people on how to do that. But ultimately, yes, it's a very lucrative industry. But I think, and you've known this because since you've known me, is we're extremely passionate about bettering other people's lives. 22 years of doing this, we have never helped a client through a cold contact. It has all been through warm market referrals, because people remember feelings and experiences, and that's really what we're able to provide. But from an income standpoint, the residual side of things, it's a pretty cool feeling knowing that someone we helped 10 years ago, they're benefiting even though way more than we are. We're still able to receive compensation for that. And then you add a recurring component to that, which is adding the investment side to that as well, which is a whole other discussion that you told me not to get into right now.
We're going to get into it, just not this episode. I'm going to have them back and we'll talk about recurring, because while I have the opportunity, I want to be able to give them what I've been given, give them the knowledge. I can give the knowledge, but how fun is it to not have the people that I've been working with for years come in and give that knowledge as well. So we'll have you back.
Yeah.
Or somebody back.
No, well, and one other thing too to add to that is most people do a deal and get a check. So if we work a salary for 40 hours, we're getting paid for those 40 hours. How much more do we get paid for that same 40 hours? Nothing. That is an employee, right? Then we have self-employed, which means, let's say I'm a chiropractor. I have to operate and adjust on someone's back to receive compensation. If I'm an attorney, I have to be in litigation or filing cases to receive compensation. But after that, how much compensation do I get for that same case worked? 0. Where that was one of the things that I realized, I'm going to get tired. I'm going to want to take vacation. And I started studying the people that I wanted to be like. And I noticed most of them had that recurring income component to their lifestyle, which is a beautiful thing. And it's okay to do. It's okay to receive, because I felt a little guilty at first. It's kind of I was scared of success early on, but then once it happened, it's like, wait a minute, we receive compensation to better other people's lives. And by keeping in contact with other folks, educating people, guess what happens? They say, Angelina, can you talk to my friend over there?
Mhm.
Well, let me introduce you to my family. And that's something that, I don't know, maybe it came from my bartending background, learning about people's lives. I just love talking to people, and people can sense, you and I have this in common. We do not like salespeople. I don't like being sold anything, but I want to be educated and I want to be able to make a decision.
Right. I'm big on that. But I want to go back a little bit, because even though you become an agent and you're helping families and you now have this residual income, can we talk about what it takes to keep the residual income though?
Yeah, it's almost like just look at it as watering the flowers. You have to keep in communication. You have to follow up with your clients. Obviously, the better you do that, once a quarter, once every 6 months type of thing. And then obviously, am I answering your question specifically?
Yeah, I might get into more.
Okay, okay. So basically by doing that, it not only adds more on the transactional side, because it has people say, hey, Angelina, can you help these other folks? But what it also does is it just, obviously just like the stock market or like the rule of 72, it either works for you or against you. That it begins compounding the longer that the clients are with you.
I just wanted to go explore that a little bit, because I didn't want people to think, oh, I could just write these policies and I'm going to get this money and then I don't have to
Never
do
have to
anything
talk
else.
to them again.
Yeah, you have to still nurture the people. You still have to, keep in contact with them and communicate them and continue to educate them.
Mm-hmm.
Also because their needs change,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so when people's needs change, they might look at what you've provided for them or helped them get, and then decide, well, this is not working for me anymore. But because you didn't communicate, because you didn't stay in contact,
they're going to go to somebody else.
they're going to go to somebody else because they don't think you're in the business anymore.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's absolutely right. 100%. Well, and think about it. It's just like being a friend to somebody. It's you want to check in and see how they're doing. And we look at all of our. We don't have any customers. A customer is someone who purchases a product from another person. That's a customer. We have clients. A client is someone who's under the protection of another, by a definition of, I believe, Merriam-Webster's dictionary.
Mhm.
And that's what we instill is someone knows. They know if you're selling them something, if you're just trying to make a profit off of them, which ironically, Angelina, it's success ratio of the general industry is not very high.
Why?
Because it's do a deal, get a check. How much money can I make? And when people sense that, plus if I say, Angelina, I sell life insurance, do you even want to remotely talk to me?
No, because
No. But if I
most
ask
people
you,
don't.
yeah, I don't even want to. I don't even want to have that
they don't want to
conversation.
think that they think life insurance, they think death,
Yep,
and people don't want to talk about.
I don't
death.
want to die. However, 4 out of 10 people have the proper amount of life insurance. That means 60% of people that you and I know do not have that right number. However, if I ask Angelina, has anyone shown you how to protect your economic value? What's the answer going to be?
No.
No. Why don't we explore? See if there's a fit for one another. See what we can do to. People want to be served. They don't want to be sold.
Right.
And that is going back to day one, what I learned early on. I mentioned it before. We're just trying to be significant in the lives of others. So, yeah.
But what I'm hearing from you before we get out of here is that really, you still have to treat this like a business.
Very much so.
You talked about that quadrant.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we got onto the right side of the quadrant. You only talked about the left side.
I talked about the left. We'll get into the right. We can get into the right later. That's where the
But they
right
got
side is where the lifestyle. That's where the lifestyle is. I mean, and I think you'll agree. You can make money and be miserable. You can be very successful financially and be miserable. It's about, and I'll be honest, I was there for some time. We did okay, but my lifestyle, I was working constantly. And now we've learned how to be way more efficient. And, I coach my kids' teams, every sport, all seasons long, year round. And I'm also we're doing better than we ever have. And it's continuously getting better. Just learning how to be more efficient. But the right side of the quadrant is a big part of that. Compounding not just your own efforts, but then the efforts of others. Mm-hmm. Thinking like a broker, like a businessman or a businesswoman, and realizing that you can only do so much. You only have 24 hours in a day.
Right.
But if you can leverage efforts with others, it's like, do you want to be the partner of a law firm or do you want to be the number one attorney? If you're a partner, you've got a team of attorneys working with you and you receive compensation off of the growth of that whole law firm. Different way of thinking.
Right. And so can we talk about that just real quickly though?
I think we're
I'm
going to
sorry.
because you brought it up.
You brought it up.
Mhm.
But being a broker, you know, because as a broker, that's when you really get into that business mindset of
Mhm.
now I have agents under me. Not only am I making a residual income from any of the policies that I was able to write, but now you're getting also passive income because you have people working for you.
Mhm.
And that's all a business is about on that other side of the quadrant,
Mhm.
right? And being a business owner is having people in place, having a team that is now able to help you make money as well.
Yeah.
And so we got to I love that about this industry as well, because you can start out as an entrepreneur and work your way to being on the other side of that quadrant as a business owner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you either have big dreams and goals or you work for someone who does.
Mm-hmm.
There is no in between. And I learned how to bet on myself, which a lot of people are afraid to do. And it's a scary thing to do, but it's...
Why is it scary to bet on yourself?
What are the two biggest epidemics in this country? Lack of self-character and lack of self-esteem. Most people aren't taught to believe in themselves. They're taught to believe if I was taller, if I was more articulate, if I was prettier, if I was skinnier, if I was whatever. We're not taught to find those things inside. We're going to start a whole other conversation. We're going to go on a whole other tangent, but I guess ultimately what you're getting at is the whole, and Remax revolutionized this in real estate, which is one of the world's largest industries, where they said, let's take someone like you, Angelina, who has leadership skills. Why don't we allow you the opportunity, instead of just being an agent and selling homes, do a deal, get a check, do a deal, get a check. Why don't we allow you the opportunity to go out and be a broker, where you can still sell homes if you like, but then you can also hire, train, and develop people who work with you, and then have some ownership stake in the game. And that's what we've done here in the world's largest industry. We've injected that model into this industry, and it's completely brought new life to what is traditionally an old, gray-haired, dusty briefcase type of industry. And we've breathed new life into it, because as good as an individual may be, it will never outperform the power of a team. The number one individual will never outperform. Like, for example, in the Olympics, Michael Johnson, the fastest man in the world before Usain Bolt beat him. Michael Johnson was beat by 2 seconds by the relay team of 4 individuals. Team concept. And that's something that I have loved about our business, because somebody gave me the gift. Somebody gave you the gift. Who are we to not offer that to other people?
Right.
You know, the chance to be an entrepreneur, the chance to, maybe take what used to be annual income and turn it into your monthly income. The chance to go out and help others achieve their goals. Who am I to not offer that to somebody who's willing to go out and work and bet on themselves and win big?
Y'all see why I brought him in? Y'all see why I love him so much? We can be here all day.
We could.
But we're not going to be all here all day. I'm going to go ahead. We're going to get out of here, but we're going to be back another day. But as you know, where you are is not where you have to be. Your past does not define you. You define you. So heal, transform, and pursue you.